morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the channel and another beautiful day here in the free state of Florida. Spring is definitely around the corner, and just in time too. We got all the last of the beds dug out for this kitchen garden over here that we've been working on. And so since we got all those dug out, we'll do a little bit update on them later once they start growing up, and there's actually some more stuff to show, but you know, you can see they're all dug. And so we've been moving on to working on clearing out this wood line that you see behind me to move it in a lot more of our more sensitive tropical trees, stuff like jackfruit, coffee, and jaboticaba, stuff like that I've been growing out from seed and whatnot, and getting it ready to move all those trees back into this area and start building out this area, get the overgrowth cleared out, stop annoying the neighbors, the HOA, all that stuff. And so it's a lot of work. It's producing a lot of material coming out from all the trimmings that we've got going. And so today we're going to go over what we're doing with those, because just like with a lot of you out there probably who are getting into clearing out your gardens from the winter mess, you're probably got a lot of mess to clean up right now and wondering maybe what to do with it. So we'll go over some of the options that we're working with, some of the stuff that we're taking into consideration and why we're doing that. So let's go ahead and move on down that way right now. All right, so of course, one of the first things we had to get going this year has been compost. So we got this bin that I moved away from the house. If you saw the kitchen garden install, then you know what I'm talking about when I say it was right up against the house. So I went ahead and moved it a little further out into this area so that it's still close enough for us to just walk right out and hand off, rather than the piles that are further along in their development down towards the back end of our property. But right here brings it more out into the sun to help cook it faster. And as you can see, it is just really taken off so well. Really starting to break down. Just look at this, you guys. Like, it might not look like much, but you can't convey smell on camera. It has that rich smell of that forest soil where you can tell it's really starting to go to town, really starting to get to work. And just so a couple mistakes that I have made already. I mean, yeah, things happen. It's a learning process. Anyways, some of the stuff we've done wrong so far that I've noticed is, one, we got straw that we thought would be good. Turns out there's actually a very selective process. You should go with straw we didn't know about, and so unfortunately it's got grass in it, it's popping up, and so I'm having to pull it out. That you've probably seen the grass in some of the other clips that Olivia's been getting, that the grass is popping up, so no hiding it, it's there. It sucks, like some of it right here, and I'm just gonna have to keep coming through and picking it out. One of the other things that really happened that hasn't been all that chill has been that this bed in particular, I went ahead and threw in a bunch of okra into here and then a bunch of leafy greens to try and do a leafy green bed just for us. Had a big mix of stuff in it. I thought the seed bag was old, and so I threw a lot in there, like a lot. I mean, you can see this is kind of turning into a bed of almost microgreens. So I'm gonna have to be coming through and picking out all of this bed just to get the ones as large as possible that I can, and hopefully transplanting other ones as I can and keeping as much alive without throwing it away into the compost pile. So lesson learned, the leafy green seeds go really well. Don't overdo it. Next thing. So right here you can see the bananas have really been popping back as spring is coming around and the weather's been warming back up. Absolutely love it. Down there at the end we have a dwarf Namois. Right up here is a double Mahoy. And then these ones that have really been going crazy, I actually put in back in December. The other two are the newest bananas, but I put these back in December and had to cut the stalk back, the main one, from the winter cold, and they've been coming back now, and they've just been coming back like crazy. These are actually called truly tiny bananas, and they're a much smaller one. They actually only get about 2 feet tall and put out really little bananas. And so I got these. I thought they would be a blast for my kid who's a year old right now, so that as he's growing up and, you know, he's starting to be able to walk and he thinks the plants are cool, he'll be able to walk out, grab these bananas himself right off the tree. So I just thought these were a really cool plant for the kids. You know, I started off with 2, that's why you see them kind of separated out, but they've just been popping off like crazy ever since. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through here later on after they get a little bit bigger, cut them out, spread them throughout this area so they can keep propagating. But I mean, just from these 2 that I put in, you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 11 of these that I'm just gonna be cutting out, spreading around, propagating out, and these are just gonna be a really cool one for the kids. All right, so as you can see behind me, we got a big overgrown area that I have been working on clearing out now that we've gotten a lot of the beds in the kitchen garden dug out and planted. So you might see these flags next to me. These are all marking little plants that I put in the ground. Some of them are like jackfruit trees and stuff that I grew out from seed. They're really tiny, so I put flags next to them while we're working on getting rid of the overgrowth in this wood line to help make sure that I know exactly where these plants ended up. And so it doesn't look like I've done a lot, but if you guys see the pile in the back that I'll take you here to in a second, it looks like I've done a whole lot. But right now, looking at it, it doesn't look like I've done anything. This is gonna take me a while. This is a big project that's gonna be worked on for a long time. I'm dreading it. Anyways, let's go show you something else. All right, so this is all the material you see behind me from the wood line that I've been clearing out. There's quite a bit, even though it looks like I've done absolutely nothing, like I said. So I sectioned this out into a couple different ways, just depending on the type of wood and stuff. I went pretty heavy on keeping a lot of logs for firewood, just because of everything going on right now in the world with, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I don't know if we're gonna lose power or what, and since we're running everything off electricity with the stove, propane tank for the grill, and lasts so long, I just figure we'll stock up on firewood just in case as a safety precaution for us, and if not, then hey, we got lots of s'mores for the kids over the years. And then we move on, we got the pile for mulch. This is all gonna get broken down into the wood chipper, and so we'll spread that out over the trees, use it as we need to through the property, and then another pile that's full of like vines and really bad termite eaten wood that I'm just gonna burn up and turn into biochar. But anyways, today really what we're gonna focus on is breaking up the wood chips, because we did go ahead and get a wood chipper, and so we're gonna go ahead and test it out today and see how it works. But it's a really long walk to go get it. I don't feel like dragging it out here, so to make things easier. Okay, so the wood chipper's here, and this is the one we got. We went with the gas one strictly over electric because of the fact that on the electric, price-wise comparison, I was having a really hard time finding anything that could do over about 1.5 inches in diameter on wood for electric versus gas. It was a lot easier to find stuff that could go up all the way to 3 inches, and with how much wood I'm gonna be running through with this property, I mean, you guys can see it. You were in the wood line, it looks like I did nothing, and yet we're standing here and I've got a lot to work through. So this is gonna take me a long time. The gas just made more sense to us, so we went ahead and got this one. Let's go ahead and fire it up, see how it does. Okay guys, so as you can see, there's a bit of a difference in consistency here. We got some stuff broken up real fine and some stuff broken up quite a bit bigger. Overall, you know, not bad. This is a lot of what we're looking for right here, and the bigger stuff will break down slower over time while this goes a little bit quicker. So we'll just keep cranking through the pile. I don't want to let the bag get too full. That's why this pile looks a little small, because I was running into issues before when we were originally trying this out with, I was running too much into the bag and it would get jammed, and that's just a pain in the ass having to take it apart, clear it out, whatnot. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm just going to empty it out a little bit earlier this time, and that's why you see such a smaller pile here. So let's get to it, get through the rest of the whole pile. It's going to take a minute and it's hot, so let's get this done. Come on. Oh, it's so close. Look at you. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess that's gonna be our stopping point for today. I don't know what happened, might have overheated. It's been really hot out in full sun. We've been out here all day doing this for a couple hours now. So it could be that it just overheated, could be that the air filter's clogged or the spark plug has something going on with it. I don't know. Seems like something along those lines. So I'm gonna yank it over into the shade, let it cool off overnight. I'll take a look at it sometime tomorrow or the next day while we got some rain coming in. Subscribe to Instagram with us over there. I'll do an update over there, do a little something special for you on that site. We'll go ahead and jump over here real quick though and take a look at what has happened today and how much we got through and what it's all looked like. So let's go take a look. So you can see right over here is the bigger pieces of wood that went through the chipper. Came out much nicer, much more of what you kind of want when you're getting a wood chipper. And over here we had everything going through the shredder on the smaller pieces. Definitely much larger pieces, they'll take longer to break down. That's okay though, you know, we got time to wait. We got a lot of stuff that we're chewing through over here, and that's why we went with the gas powered machine rather than an electric one. Is just, in my opinion, I'm not so much of a purity stance on electric versus gas so much as I'm just looking for the right tool for the job and what works in my situation. In this case, for me, in my opinion, was just gas. So, you know, it depends on what you want. We're just trying to do things on making sure that we can get our house taken care of, and we've got a lot of stuff to chew through back here, as you can clearly see. So we'll get a lot more, hopefully, of all this so that it can feed our trees and all of the other plants that we got. I'm tired. It's been a long day out here in the sun. So I'm gonna go ahead and head back inside, relax with the family. Check out Instagram, follow us on there to see what happens with the rest of the wood chipper and get through the rest of this pile. And we hope to see you next time. Anyways, Molnar out.